Hello everybody and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show that hasn't been on the air for a couple of weeks. I'm sorry about that. How is everybody doing? I hope you are all having, this is super laggy. Can't help you with that. We will switch the camera pretty soon here too, because other cat is over here. Hello, I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful day. Hello, Gio and Bob and Majipicha and Factard and Bohobel and Evan Williams and oh my goodness, so many of you today. WF6160I, Luke. Hello, Terry Davis. How are all of you doing? I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful, and hello, Sean. I did see you show up a little bit earlier. Where is the cat? Let's just switch over to the ever important. We have with us today other cat, who is there she is. Hobbs is here too, but he's not. He's on the floor. He's hard to get. Hello, Solar DNA and Mad Scribbles. Hello. So yes, we haven't done a show in a couple of weeks, guys. I missed you all. I should switch thing. I don't even know how to do my show anymore. God damn. How do I do this again? There we go. Housekeeping. We'll move right into housekeeping, and I can talk about all the things first, and most importantly, and hopefully, Mr. Bjorn Kamitz will show up at some point or another. We have ourselves a new patron. Hello, Mr. Bjorn Kamitz. Thank you very much for your what's it called, support. That one. Thank you for your support and becoming a patron. It's always awesome to have a new patron. If you show up at the stream and I see you in the chat, I will ask you to pick between super chat and donations, and you will get a free pair of boobs for your wonderful pledge this month. So thank you very much. Oh, we might be able to switch over to Hams on the cat cam. He's as soon as he settles down on my lap here. You can watch him as well. I guess he decided to join us. So that's one bit of housekeeping. The other bit of housekeeping is we have not done a show in a couple of weeks, mostly because I started my new job. Well, not really a new job. I got a promotion in my job. I got a promotion, and holy bananas. Is it is it a lot different than my old job? It kind of kicked my ass a little bit, so I needed a break. and school, not that school is difficult, but it's something that I'm like constantly having to. Oh, son of a bitch, Hobbs, you're fat and you have tiny little paws. You gotta make up your mind here, my friend. There we go. Okay, is that how we're gonna okay, oh good boy. Let's see if we can get there's other cat. Let's see if we can get Hobbsy. There he is. Hobbsy as well. Unfortunately, we only have one camera, so we gotta pick one cat or the other. That's all. Not doing that, Bo. So yeah, new job's been kind of kicking my ass. School hasn't really been kicking my ass, but it still does take time out of my week to go to class. It's not a very difficult class, but I still have to do it, and then I have to do some reading for it and quizzes after work. So, you know, just all the things have been keeping me busy and away from being able to make videos and stream, at least for last week. Hopefully this week will be better because I did sort of get into the rhythm of my new job. So I think I'll be doing much better this week. I see most of you have watched the newest video, which was done by Young Blue Skeptic, wherever he is. He did an excellent job debunking some of Eric Dubé's nonsense this week. So that was cool. Next week we will maybe have a have the book review for Eric Dubé's book. Maybe, we'll see. I have it written, so it might be a thing. No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it, Bo. We're just not. So yeah, that's more or less how whatchamacallit. Is that it for housekeeping? I think that might be it for housekeeping. Yeah, that might be it for housekeeping. Yeah, I think so. I think we're good. Okay, we're good. So that takes us straight into beer of the week. We have one of the weirdest beers ever. I don't know. I saw this. That's really what the label looks like. It's super odd. The website is super weird. I don't know how it's gonna taste. I'm slightly terrified. How's the Chromebook doing? Excellent. I have it. I've been using it on streams for the chat, just to, you know, keep that off my computer. So that's been working pretty well. I've been taking all my notes on it as well, for class. I did not mean to open that. And that's been working pretty well. I had to get this fancy like passive stylus with a finer tip so that I could actually take notes than with my finger. I really was struggling. You can't really write with this on your finger. But for notes, it's been great. It really has been really good for class. I rented my book on it. So instead of buying a physical book for an intro level class, I rented it for like $50. I think the physical book new was like almost $200, maybe a little bit over $200. Used, it was somewhere in the 150-ish. And then the just renting the ebook was only like $45, so that saved me a whole lot of thing. So yeah, so it's been great. I like it. I think it's great. I can't believe how many 6 or 7-year-olds have phone X's. Yeah, no, they do. That's yeah. a lot of my classmates. So you're not prepared for non sequitur? Oh, you get invited for non sequitur? Good on you. You have fun with that. That'll be cool. Or did you, or was someone suggesting that you do? I mean, if you want to do that, you go for it, my friend. You do it. You deserve it. You are a smart kiddo who deserves it, very much so. I bought my first cell phone when I was 19. I think I had mine a little bit younger. I think I was 16 when I had my first one. Yeah, a lot of people at my in my class have like MacBooks and stuff. Nobody really seems to take notes on it. They just seem to carry it around, which is a little weird. I don't know why they have them with them. I actually actively use mine all the time to take notes. I think I tweeted about my notes. My notes are kind of funny, but I enjoy it. So it's been good for note taking. It's been good for having a book with the book with me. And most and I will actually sing. This does not have anything to do with beer. I will actually sing praises to Chromebooks. I love Chromebooks. Chrome OS is a great OS. Don't listen to Geo. He does not know what he's talking about. The OS is super lightweight. It runs really nicely. It is really a great OS, and I like how well it connects to all my other Google stuff, which is nice. The Google Play Store works on it now, so you can always you can download a lot of the things that you could download on like an Android phone. You can download onto your Chromebook. Which is quite a few things, honestly. So it's how much does the OS weigh? Not very. So it's pretty cool. Of course, I know what I'm talking about. Remember when I knew the structure of the machine better than you did yourself? Probably. He still doesn't know what he's talking about, though. Okay, so yes, all the things. Stroke Hobbs, yes. One of these days I need to have maybe one of these days I can. I don't remember if the bad guy from Inspector Gadget, if he had a claw on both hands or one hand, but we will work on making a claw so that I can sit here and be the claw from Inspector Gadget. If you're old enough to know what Inspector Gadget is, oh buddy, yes, it's a good. You like being pets. I know you like all the pets. Okay, so that's more. Okay. The things with the beer. We gotta drink the beer. We got a beer. So, beer of the week is this week called Space Cake. Yeah, it's a weird name. It's a double IPA, by a beer company called Clown Shoes Beer, which they don't brew it themselves. They're not a brewery. Which was also a little odd. So I can't really I could actually find their brewery. The brewery is called, I think, Mercury Brewing Company, but I didn't look into it enough to figure out exactly where they're located. So who the fuck knows? Where they're brewing this shit, but you know, it's whatever. It's got a weird name. It's got a weird ass description too. I typed this up so I know how weird ass it is, and we're gonna read it, and it's weird. That's all I can say about it. So, why are Miracle Mike and his dog, Bionic, being chased by many evil laser beam shooting cupcakes and 2 giant layer cake motherships? Because we're straight up lunatic fools? Well, maybe. But with a few brain cells remaining, we managed to craft Space Cake Double IPA. Utilizing citrusy mosaic hops and immaculate West Coast style malt backbone. Dude, chill out. Enjoy some space cake. That's a thing. Hey, Rhetoric&Discourse. Does Sin from Final Fantasy X make no sense to you? It makes sense, I think. I haven't entirely beaten it. Like, I know what happens at the end, but I haven't entirely beaten it. The last time I got stuck on the last, what I think, because it's Final Fantasy, so I don't actually know. What I think is the last fight with Sin at the end of the game, or with Jet. Oops, I shouldn't. Spoiler alert for a fucking 20-year-old game. Sin is Titus's dad. So there, I spoiled it for you. Son of a bitch! I spilled it on the can myself. Ah! Son of a bitch. Oh, it smells good. I fucking made a mess. Made a mess. Gotta clean it up now. I'm sorry, Hubsy. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Oh, we're gonna take a break now. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna clean myself up. I'll be back. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, let's have some music. Like while you watch me clean. That's some bad art. Oh goodness. I'm gonna leave my mic on. Alright, well, there we go. That was a thing that happened on the show. Okay. What's wrong with life? Let's actually... Okay. So, poor Hobbs, yes. Poor... Everything's a mess. I just chopped everything right up. It actually appears it's nothing else. I know what to do. Everything is a... We can't hear... Still talking. Oh, God. Everything's a mess. Everything's a mess. Everything's a mess. We're just a wreck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, beer. Is it any good? Do you see a story I saw in the middle of the latest Pete anytime? No, I did not watch I've not watched his latest video. Get rid of Nightbot. I like Nightbot. Nightbot's hilarious. Hello, Ine. Hello, Ine. How are you? Okay, beer. Is it any good? Smells good. Smells fruity. Smells very, very fruity. Tropical like. That ooh. Wow. That is good. God, it's a good IPA. I mean, granted, it's a double IPA, but that is good. It's actually kind of, it's a little sweet. Not, like, super sweet. It's definitely fruity. I can't pinpoint what fruit it is, but it's fruity. Almost pineapple-y? Pineapple-y. It's very good. You finally need to drink German. I will try. There was an Oktoberfest thing here, which I missed. I really should find. Maybe next time. Oh God, I really gotta. The problem is there isn't really a whole lot of German beer at the place that I go buy my beer. It's a lot of microbrews. It's a lot of Midwest microbrews for obvious reasons. They like to promote their, that's what they like to promote, which is fine. It's their thing. It's their thing. Is it possible Emma's eyes aren't facing the same direction? It is. I'm pretty sure she has got a lazy eye. We're fairly certain, but we're not actually certain if cats can have lazy eyes or not. But I am of the opinion that they can and that she does. So, Because yeah, she kind of doesn't look like, she never looks like she's looking in the same direction. Cat's eye, what's a human weirdo doing there? If I met you one day, I'm gonna spend hours stroking your cats. That's an inappropriate sentence. No, it's not. Oh goodness. All right, video. I never did a thing. I never set up a thing. I never set up. Yeah, actually, it's mostly inappropriate because you said the word stroke. Never, unless you're talking about a heart. Just using the word stroke is probably not the best use of words. I don't know if it's bad. It's just, you know, I'm an immature adult, so stroke is probably not the word to use. Okay, so today's videos, we have some amount of options which I can look at as soon as I make this poll, which is super professional of me to not have this poll ready, but there we go. Create that poll, share that poll. Okay, so we have, last time we did 2 videos with Micro and Evan and someone else I want to say. I don't know. That's some, oh, Bohobo. Bohobo showed up at some point. We did, there we go. We did do, last time we did do Eric Dubé's thing, seasons. We did seasons. And then we did some other one about peeing. Yes, peeing stuff, urine therapy. So we have left. We got rid of those 2 videos. We have left Not Cloning by Jonathan Miller. We have Veganism Almost Killed Me by Daphne Reloaded. What Does It Mean by A Call for an Uprising. Small World by Enslaved by No Media. Rivers Debunk the Globe by the Morgile, AI What They Won't Admit by Orphan, yes, she's still around, and Crunchyroll Full SJW by Yellow Flash, which is a video I wanted to make last week, but I never got around to it. It is more of that grown-ass adults complaining about cartoons things, but this time they're complaining about Crunchyroll as opposed to She-Ra, but more or less the same kind of nonsense of complaining about things. So that's a thing. Sorry, I got distracted by a message. Not sorry I missed that P video. I mean, if nothing, I mean, Micro's commentary on it was great. Honestly, like, it really was. He did have some pretty good commentary, because, you know, it was all biology stuff, so he could do commentary on that. Let's see. Right now, number 5 is winning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that AI? No, you guys are gonna make me watch Orphan, aren't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you guys want to watch Morgile? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you guys want to watch Morgile? I mean, that's okay. I personally don't like watching Morgile, mostly because he's got one video that he just keeps making over and over again. That's been his thing, forever. Like, just to remake that one video. Amusingly, one of my sons asked me how Flat Earthers explain season. He had excellent timing. There you go. Yeah, seasons work. The problem with that video wasn't it wasn't actually the explanation for seasons that was bad. It was the fact that that Eric Dubé never actually explained seasons. He was just like, seasons are a thing, and that was like most of the video. Or like, yeah, so it's cold in the winter and hot in the summer, and that was it. Like, it wasn't an actual explanation of it. It was just seasons exist, so there you go. My vote's for someone who haven't seen much before. I mean, some of these videos have been on this list for a little while, I feel like, but, you know, that's okay. We just honestly, sometimes we just don't like watching this, but, you know, Morgile seems to be winning. That's cool. Morgile, I mean, my only problem with him is how little he actually, like I said, he just repeats the same points in every one of his videos. This one's actually, if I remember right, but I haven't seen it in a while, it's actually a shorter video. So that seems to be better than his older videos. Like, when he used to make his older videos, they were definitely like 2 hours long and just repetitious as fuck. And he tries this thing where he tries to use big words and you can clearly tell that he has absolutely no idea what they mean. So it's always just kind of cringy. It's kind of weird. The list of choices is getting worse and worse. Yeah, it is. Really, really likes disgusting fruits of Flirth and Woo. I do. This is what we do. This is what I live for. If you live in an apartment, Wi-Fi name should be Get Your Own Wi-Fi, bitch. There's actually let's see. There's some hilarious Wi-Fi names in my building. Let's see if I have I can pull up, and sometimes there's some really funny ones, including so we have Pay Your Bill, that's one of them at my house. Crazy Town, that's okay. We have a Balzacs. We have a Balzacs with yeah, that's cool. Doorman, I don't know what that one means. We have Suck It and See, that's great. We have the TNT Network. We have Suck It and See 2. Oh my goodness, someone really liked that Suck It and See one. They were all for that. Let's see. Balzac's 5G. Okay. God damn it. No, I don't want you to click on it. I want you to just let me. Oops. Nope. Let's get that volume down. Doorman. Oh, goodness. The one thing I don't like about this thing is the stylus can be a little bit sensitive. Not today, Satan. That's a good one. Not today. Jimmy and April. That's boring. Come on, Jimmy and April. Get your shit together. Terra Nova, that's a little bit like too much. Dragon's Lair, that one's kind of cool. Dragon's Lair is kind of cool. Yeah, that's about the more interesting one. The rest of them are all like CenturyLink, which is the sort of the big company out here that provides the internet service. So there we go. Password is cookies. I like that one. I do like the ones that are like get your own Wi-Fi. Hello, Surf Purcell. How are you today? I got FBI watch and hi your kids here. Hi Wi-Fi. That's great. So let's go back to our poll. See how we're doing today. It looks like the Morgile is just barely gonna edge out today. So we are gonna go with the Morgile today. Which one's the Morgile? Rivers debunk. So, let's see if I can start this without actually starting the Morgile talking. I think I failed. So the full name of the video is Rivers Debunk the Globe, Fake Space. That's a title. So that's the full title of today's video. Let's see, you're gonna fit in the screen? You are. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. All right. So we have. What are we going to talk about? Who knows? Who knows anymore? I got just a quick. I'm pretty sure there will be a at the minimum a 20-minute intro to this video because you know all of his videos have a 20-minute intro. That's unnecessary. Stop with your unnecessary intros. Oh man.
What up, everybody? John the Morgile here. Going to do a Flat Earth video for you. Hope you enjoy it. As we all well know, water is the most abundant resource upon the world, constituting over 2/3 of the world's known surface. Standing water is the best natural level.
No, are we? Did I? I get the feeling that volume down, please. I can turn down the volume. I get the feeling that I got a little. I'm gonna turn it down over here, actually, not over there. I get the feeling that I got a little too excited about the Morgile, and sorry. And he's just gonna do the water level. The water is always level thing. Like that's gonna be a thing, isn't it? That's gonna be the whole thing. Oh no, no, I don't know. I wanted something new, Morgile. Ugh. Bananas. That sucks.
Which will always find equilibrium by filling its given container evenly and level upon the surface.
No. Yep. 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 Sorry, I didn't notice how loud that was, but I did tone it down a little bit on my end. So hopefully the second time around it wasn't so loud. I was bananas. So I'm trying to I'm trying to do the thing where I don't swear so much. Not here. Here I want to swear as much as it's my fucking show. But at work I'm finding myself swearing a whole lot. When you work with children, that's not ideal. So I'm trying new ways to swear. And one of them is, bananas. The fudge one always works, but I like bananas. Bananas is good. What about rocks? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. I guess one could sit and argue whether rock is a resource. I really have no problem with him saying that water is the most abundant resource. I think he'd be a little wrong in like the fact that the water that we need, the water that the humans drink, and that everything else really needs isn't really water in and of itself, but it's like things like clean water, or not clean water, not salted water, not sugar water. What is not salted water called? Not salted water. Because the biggest resource is, the biggest amount of water on Earth is salted water. Salt water? Desalinated? Desalinated. Maybe desalinated. You might be right. Fresh water! That's the one. I know my words. Is probably a little bit more important, it's probably a little bit more important than like the salt water, for at least for us humans. So that one could be nitpicky about this, but honestly, that's probably the most correct thing he'll say today, and I don't want to discourage him from saying correct things. Keep saying correct things, the Morgile. Please. Oh goodness. Okay. But I think, and I'm really disappointed, I think this video is just gonna be water always finds its level. I absolutely think that's just gonna be it.
Any topography beneath the level surface of the water will never affect the shape of the water surface, and the surface will always remain perfectly level so long as the body of water is at rest and at equilibrium. Now, should that container full of water be breached, allowing the water to flow into some other container, the body of fluid will flow yet again to spread evenly across the bottom of that second container, finding a point of equilibrium, exhibiting yet again a level surface.
So, I mean, I don't know. I want to give up on this video already, guys. Because it's the same. It's just, we already talked about this. They still don't understand that level does not mean what they think it means. You are true, Nan. You are true. I don't know. That's easy. Oh, God. It's just, this isn't how it works. Okay. So just I think I might have pointed this out, or someone else has reminded me to try to point this out more often. The thing about the whole level water, always level thing, always the same, whatever thing, whatever, is that at the end of the day, when it comes to a flat Earth, having water always be at the same level makes no goddamn sense on a flat Earth map, or a flat Earth of any kind, because there are these things called tides, where water is higher at certain places than at others across the world. So it can't always be level if it's like in the way that he's showing in this picture, right? It can't always be level in that. You can't see my mouse. In that way, because of like what should we call it? Tides exist. Tides do exist, which is already a problem. There's also this really cool thing. If you didn't know, geologists. I want to blame geologists for this. Geologists have this little fight about, I want to say geologists, about how like tall mountains are, because as you get closer to a body, a landmass, because we have this thing called gravity, water tends to sort of accumulate near big land masses. So it's water. So sea level isn't actually the same everywhere on Earth. So sea level out in the middle of the ocean is different than sea level near a landmass, near like say a continent, because it has more mass. So it actually makes sea level higher than it should be because it attracts water. So there's actually there's a bit of a debate about how you measure how high a mountain is. If you measure it because between how high up it is from sea level, but sea level is different in different places, so it's not exactly accurate. You could also try to measure it from how far away it is from the center of the Earth, but even that's different at different places of the Earth. So it's all sorts of things. Like it's this concept is far more complicated than flat earthers will ever give it credit for. They'll just say, you know, it's level, that's it, fucking leave it at that, right? And they don't understand the complications that sea level isn't always the same, that water can't always be at the same level all over the Earth because of things like tides, and because of things like mountains and land masses. It's just, yeah. Oh god. It's just a mess. Hello, Richard. How are you? How was the movie? I hope you enjoyed it. You gotta thumbs up, thumbs down, 10 out of 10. I don't know. Tell me a thing about the movie. Because I'd rather listen to that than the Morgile. Okay. Also, we have Lake Titicaca and the Dead Sea, between whose levels are almost 4 meters, 4,000 meters. I want to say. It was good. 8 out of 10. Cool. I'll take that. Has different walls at each point of ingress. That is also true. So they don't, yeah. So this whole idea of level things is not something that they understand. And again, level does not mean flat. God, I did a video on this already. This was like proof 2 or 3 on fucking Dubé's thing, where this and I think somebody said this, that he's not really wrong. Like, what I'm complaining about are things that the Morgile hasn't said, but he's not wrong so far. But the fact that he is not wrong doesn't actually prove his point. Like, it is entirely possible on a globe Earth to have water be level and yet still be curbed. There's nothing. Those two things are separate, and he doesn't seem to understand that. Oops, did not mean to do that. So let's try. We'll try a little bit more of this. Otherwise, I am willing to put that poll back up because I don't really want to. What am I swinging on? I keep hitting my mic. That's probably it. Okay.
Once it is at rest. Flowing waters do not exhibit the same traits as standing water at equilibrium. So
the other one, and the one that I point out, and I do this because I'm a pedantic asshole. It's entirely why I point this out, is if you ever take like a drop of water, or if you ever see dew on anything, but you take a drop of water and just take a picture of it, you will see that it's not flat, right? It's curved. And I entirely understand that this is due to water tension and other things that have nothing to do with, like, you know, gravity and the shape of the Earth or anything. But the reason that I bring it up is because if you can have something like a drop of water not be flat, then you can at that point no longer say that water is always level. Once you can prove once you can prove a single example of water not being flat, you can no longer say that. And the reason that I always bring that up is because water tension gives you there's a mechanism that makes the water curve, which means that there might be other mechanisms, gravity, that might make water bend, which is the thing that flat earthers, which is why I pointed out, because just to show that if there can be one example of it, then there's a good chance that there might be other examples of it. So, yes, moving on.
So, like rivers all have one thing in common. They begin flowing from a genesis point that is some degree higher in elevation than the place where the flowing water eventually ends up, usually the ocean. The natural process described as fluid dynamics allows large amounts of water to naturally flow from inland, higher elevations, springs, or aquifers, then responding to the natural law of...
So okay. I'm gonna leave this up to you all. I really am. But this is... I feel like I've already debunked this. And we are just gonna sit here and talk about... water being flat and pretty much what we just debunked and what has been debunked like a bajillion times over and over again. Do we want to listen to more of this, or should we go back to voting? I'm gonna let you guys pick if you really want to, if you really want to watch the Morgile drone on and on about rivers. I think I've already figured out sort of his points. No to the you wait, I don't know. No to listening to more of the Morgile, more to changing it. So I can stick, and I will. I can stick this back on here. Not if there's something juicier. There probably is. All right, paste that. So I'm gonna put that up there. So and maybe I'll put the choices up there because like I said, there are potentially better choices. Move that bus. So there's the poll. I think the poll still works. Who knows? Flat earthers are almost always about using Pratt's points refuted 1,000 times. Yeah, it's all about how stupid they're willing to go defend them. That's true. So like, and I've always asked this, like, why do you bother with flat earthers? They've been debunked like a billion times over, and it's true, they have, right? They have been debunked a billion times over, but every once in a while they do come out with like ridiculous shit, like the whole thing that Enslaved by No Media has been doing, and what's his other face? Or the other, Jason Megard, right? Megard, like, they're always willing to like you think you hit the bottom of the barrel, right? You think you hit it, and yet somehow flat earthers manage to shovel their way further down, and it's amazing, right? Like, now we have this whole, like, the U.S. is smaller than they think by not measuring it, which is amazing. I didn't think they could do that. So sometimes you do get kind of those, like, I'm going to say something even stupider. Today is not one of those days. Today is just a Morgile, which I should have known because it's a fucking Morgile. It's just a Morgile repeating what has already been debunked a billion times, which is water level things. And I don't know. Morgile, come up with new shit. Like, there's Morgile. Dear Morgile, we'll talk now, you and I, real Morgile. There's a reason why Jism has more viewers than you do, and why he's a bigger YouTuber than you are, even though you guys were like in the same group and sort of started together. And the reason for that is that Jism is willing to say any stupid shit to get money. And so this is kind of let him get to them. We can do that. We can do both, right? I'll leave the poll up and we can do both. I'll let him get to the point. Is on the one hand, I'm very glad that you, Morgile, don't go down to Jism's level and just accept any bullshit just for accept it. Like, you have some inkling of decency in you, and you don't just do this for the money. Like, I think you are a true believer of this nonsense, as opposed to Jism, who I'm pretty sure doesn't drink his own Kool-Aid. But at the end of the day, that's like, if you wanna continue being a big flat Earth YouTuber, the only way to do that is to take Jism's route, or you need to stop and realize that what you are doing is just making the same video over and over again. Those are kind of your two options, the Morgile. Okay, so here are our options, and I'm gonna leave the poll up, and you guys can keep voting while we watch. I have no Not Cloning by Jonathan Miller. Veganism Almost Killed Me by Daphne Reloaded. What Does It Mean by A Call for an Uprising. Small World by Enslaved by No Media. We're not going to vote on number 5. So if you vote for 5, it's not going to get counted because we are already watching that. And then AI, What They Won't Admit by Orphan Red. And then Crunchyroll, Fool SJW by The Yellow Flash. Those are your things. Please link a new poll. I guess it was the old one. It was the old poll. I'm just going to ignore. I'm not going to make a new poll because that would involve effort. I'm not going to do that. This is the old poll, but if you vote for number 5, you wasted your vote. That's pretty much how that goes. Don't waste your vote, kids. But otherwise, we will see if
what goes
the Morgile
up must
has an
come
actual
down,
point.
since the water is of a higher density than the air. Flowing waters are simultaneously pulled from the lower point or the end point to flow from higher elevations down to lower elevations. Open waters simply do not flow uphill, but will always begin at a higher elevation, flowing down to a relatively lower elevation.
So again, like the Morgile, you are genuinely correct. You great. Water doesn't flow uphill. Like, good on you. Good on you. What pulls the water, Morgile? What pulls it? So somebody pointed this out, and I thought it was very interesting, and left a comment in one of my videos, which I hadn't thought about, but it makes a weird kind of sense. Which is the thing that flat earthers always say about how density and buoyancy, right? So things that are more dense will fall through things that are less dense. So if you take, like, if you drop a hammer, it's more dense than the air around it. So somebody pointed out that a lot of times you have things like if you have like a table, and you have I think that their example was a wrench, like a steel or iron wrench, that the wrench is actually more dense than the table. And I hadn't actually thought about it, but yeah, like the wrench is actually more dense than the table. And if we're gonna use this whole density and buoyancy nonsense, then it should actually go right through the table, which would make sense. Like if that is right, it makes sense if that is your only explanation for why things fall, right? If you're reasonable and understand physics, that makes no goddamn sense. But if your only explanation for why things fall is density and buoyancy, then there's absolutely nothing stopping a more dense object like a wrench going through a table, because it is denser than the table, and according to buoyancy and density laws, it should go right through it, right? That is what happens when your ideas are made up about how the world works, that you have a lot of nonsense consequences to it. Rhetoric and Discourse. Funnier is the consequence for the idea that electromagnetism would be gravity. Water is dipole, so water would sink like a stone instead of staying in the air. That's true. I think the other thing they pointed out was how so the atmosphere for the most part is a fairly even mix of all the things. Nitrogen and oxygen and carbon dioxide and all that nonsense, right? It's a fairly even mix, and it only just sort of gets thinner as you go higher. Which also doesn't make sense in the buoyancy and density model, because if that were true, then we should have thicker gases just sitting at the bottom of the surface of the Earth, and then thinner gases layering themselves out. But that's not what we see. We just see the atmosphere sort of being mixed up together and sort of thinning itself as it gets higher up. Which, yeah. So all of this stuff, like, you just none of it makes sense. So that's another thing. All right, we'll keep going with the Morgile. I'm gonna keep that poll up. We got about 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes, and then we'll go on a break, and then at that break we will decide if we want if we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch. I'm not even gonna ask you if you want to switch. We're gonna switch videos at that point.
If the Earth were a sphere how exactly would fluid dynamics allow for such a natural phenomenon as rivers flowing down to the sea?
Okay.
We're told that since
Can I? No, I'm gonna find it. Notes to R&D. Let's get a pencil, and we're gonna write ourselves a quick note. Where's my pencil? There's my pencil. We're gonna put a quick note in our handy dandy notebook. Oh, I did get my Sunday. A Sunday note. We are gonna say, get desert file. And what was the other one we did? Get Illuminati. Get Illuminati sounds. Just to have them. Just to have them, like, ready to go. Just just so that the next time I have to deal with this nonsense, I can just hit the button that says gravity. You fucking idiot. It's gravity. Sean on your PS4, that's cool. I know. God damn it, guys. Sean. Come on, man. Like, my schedule is always the same, buddy. He keeps saying fluid dynamics like he knows what that is. It's true. He does, doesn't he? He doesn't. I gotta give Sean. I'm. You.
the Earth is a sphere, any observer will be at the hypothetical top of that sphere according to their vantage point, and only according to their vantage point, as everyone else in all directions will progressively become lower and lower proportionally with distance.
Not really. So okay, so I guess he did do something different. So no, I mean, it's still stupid, mind you. So no, like they're not lower than you. When you say things like lower on a globe, like, God, I wish you guys could see my mouse. On this particular picture, for example, lower would mean lower on this picture, but from the person in the middle, or actually from any person, relative to themselves, the other people aren't lower than them. When you say things like lower, you think that there's some sort of universal frame of reference that we all use. And that's not at all how any of that works. You can't... People in Australia aren't literally upside down. They're right side up, just like the rest of us. Oh, I do need Mortimers, of course. God, that's a good idea. Mortimer, please notice me sometime. Mortimer actually follows me on Twitters. Self-plug. Follow me on Twitters. I say funny things every once in a while. But Marty follows me, so all should you too. So does Creationist Cat, which I'm very impressed by. I think I promised him some fan art, so we might actually be able to do fan art Wednesday this week if I can get my shit together, because I want to do some fan art of Creationist Cat. So that's a thing, of course. So we'll get that clip. We'll get that clip as well. Do me a favor, Bull. Send me that link on Discord so that I don't lose it, because it's gonna get entirely lost in this chat. I'm never gonna get to it. You suggest good videos on Twitter. I try my best. Thank you, Richard. So that's a thing. There's all about 20 miles tail, but I guess he isn't claiming it's to scale. That's true. I mean, he's not claiming, right? This is just a representation, whatever. Which is fine. I got no problem with you sort of doing it this way. What the biggest problem is you claiming that somehow people are sideways, upside down, not like, no. That only happens if you think. You absolutely think that there's some sort of universal frame of reference, and there isn't. Morgile has a proper diagram on screen of gravity and meaning of down, but I bet he's going to talk about upside down and sideways people. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, that's more or less what he's done so far is said that, you know, these people are lower than you. No, again, height is different than, like, there isn't a universal up, there isn't a universal down, so there isn't a universal higher than and lower than. That's entirely relative. So being lower than them usually, or being lower than someone else usually means that you're at a lower altitude. And altitude has nothing to do with, like, you could go around the Earth and have the same altitude, but not, it's all the same altitude, and still go on a curve. I think I keep using sort of a yo-yo on a string, like swinging a yo-yo on a string. How the distance between the point where you're holding the string and the tip and the yo-yo never changes, but the yo-yo can still sort of go in this same sort of circular motion. So, all right, let's get a little bit more of this video done.
On that sphere Earth. Of course, each of those observers will believe they themselves to be on the top of the ball, and the theory of gravity is always pulling everything directly towards the center of the Earth, and because of this, every observer is allowed to experience themselves as upon the top of the ball.
I mean, yes. I'm almost having a hard time. Like, I feel like everything I've debunked about you, Morgile, today has been things you haven't said, which I feel is very rude of me. But yes, I know, like, you're right, the Morgile. Thank you for that. So what's the problem, the Morgile? What is it? I guess now I'm kind of curious what the problem is with this model.
This is a major problem for the ball Earth theory, as fluid dynamics will not allow flowing water to operate under such conditions.
No, you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You just explained it. Like, you just, like, I don't remember what your last sentence was, but it was something along the lines of how every person can have down be their own noun. Like, you just explained it, which means sort of the opposite conclusion to that to get to is that everybody's up. Everybody can have an up that's different from everyone else's up. So everyone's being higher and everyone being lower is relative. Like you're so close to understanding this. Why? Like you were so close, Morgile. I don't understand why this is so hard. You just literally explained it the correct way. But then when you can't, like, you just Hey, Igor, we prefer baller bitches. Baller bitches is our preferred gender, so, you know, do that. Okay, we'll try. Oh, goodness gracious.
Let's look at it this way. If we imagine the low point or the end point where the river empties into, say, the ocean, from that point, the origin point of the river is necessarily lower in altitude.
No! You stop it! You stop it! I can easily tell what's going on. It's something used by the police during investigation interrogation as well. It is way sexier than I am. Sean, you suck. Okay, so altitude is not at all the same as, like, God, why is this so goddamn? You just said it. It's necessarily lower in altitude. No, it is not necessarily lower in altitude. How does a river flow uphill? Irrational. You Mr. Igor TV, you are absolutely correct. It is irrational to think that rivers flow uphill. It's a damn good thing that nobody says that, isn't it? Because if you can find me, and I know we'll shut up about this, Igor, if you can find me a scientist, a paper, anything, honestly, a fucking kids show that says that rivers flow uphill, I will stop defending this gravity. I will stop. I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, But nobody says that, and that's kind of the point. Is absolutely nobody says that rivers flow uphill. That's it would be if people said it, it would be rivers flow, and this is important. I'm gonna choose my words very carefully here. Is that rivers flow from a higher altitude to a lower altitude. And that's important because altitude is relative to the Earth. It's not a universal thing. It would have to flow up the curve at some point. No, it would. I get, like I'm just saying, it goes from a higher altitude to a lower altitude. Just like, and I'm going to use this example because I think it's a great example. If you were to take a weight on a string, right, and you took that weight and you spun it, the distance between where you're holding it on, where you're holding the weight and the weight itself would stay identical the whole way across that rotation. It would never ever change. That means that object, or that weight, has traveled at the same altitude around a circle, around a curve. I'm gonna now you get to see my gorgeous face. So it would travel in that same same altitude. You can shorten that string and spin it again, and that's a lower altitude. That's more or less what altitude means. Altitude, and it's a little different because it doesn't actually mean from the center of the Earth. It means from sea level, and I spoke earlier about how sea level is relative in and of itself. But altitude is relative. It's not, there isn't a universal altitude and a universal lower altitude. That's not a thing. It's a thing that flat earthers have come up with. It's not a thing that anyone else uses besides flat earthers. So if you can find me a science book, even if you can find me a kid's science book that describes altitude as a universal thing, then I will shut up about this. But you won't, because no one says that. All right. We are gonna take a break. I will do the thing where we're gonna take a break because I need to go use the little boy's room. You will have some music. I will post. I'm actually finding this video to be far more entertaining than I thought it would be. So I'm gonna post that poll there again. And if you would like to change to a different video, we can change. If we need a new poll because oh yeah, we probably need a new poll. Because we changed it. Well, maybe we'll talk about it in a second. I'm gonna go use the restroom. We will talk about it in a second to see how we feel about continuing with the Morgile, not continuing with the Morgile, whatever it is we decide to do. But until then, enjoy some fan art and enjoy some music from number 2 by Sam Laxton. So enjoy some good music, some good tunes there. I'm gonna turn that up a little bit too. we're back. Eager, you had an interesting comment that I feel like it needs to be read. So, oh, I took off my glasses to look cool, and then I can't read it. I wonder if the Roman factored the curve when building their aqueducts, lol, or the people that build the railroads. So there was the reason that I find your comment so interesting is that there's a thing, there's a proof that Eric Dubé uses about talking about how trains can't really deal with curves. You should first off look at how sort of sub railroads work. Like, trains are pretty capable of traversing very curved rails. They really have no problem with it. I think just understanding that roller coasters exist should be enough for you to understand that trains really don't struggle with curves at all. So the other thing is, they really don't have to be like, again, we're talking about so many different things. You are confounding altitude with flatness, and they don't mean what you think they mean. I would strongly, again, but the metaphor that I always go to is spinning an object on a string for altitude. That you can still travel at the same altitude around a curved surface and yet never change altitude. So that's more or less what we're talking about. Okay. So my dear friends, what do we want to do? We have let's see, can I open? I closed it, but I can probably open it again. What would we like to do? Would we like to continue watching more of this nonsense, or would we like to switch over to something new? That is something for the chat. I will let the chat sort of decide. If the chat decides to switch to something new, I'm going to use the straw poll, and I'm just going to cross. Actually, I should probably use a new straw poll, because I realized that this straw poll won't actually let you vote if you'd already voted, which that's not the right keyboard. I used the wrong keyboard for that. Won't actually let you vote if you'd already voted before, and so I kind of forgot that that's a thing. So, you know, do you all want to switch? Are you all cool with listening to more of the Morgile? You know, what are we thinking? We're gonna skip number 5. I am gonna make that poll, even if you, just so that it's made. Enter straw poll. Okay. What are we thinking? Because he's granted, he's saying the same kind of nonsense that every flat earther has ever said. He's not really saying anything new. You know, okay. So we have one vote for switching. Single vote for switching, which is fine. Just a bit more of Morgile. We have Nelsie wants to do it. Poll in my feed is euphemism. Well, welcome home. I'm not there to welcome you at your home. I know you wish I was, but you know, welcome back to your home. I will throw this poll up there. Sorry, I'm like, there we go. Come on, thing, paste for me, will you? Paste. There we go. So we could switch. I might get the. Wow, is that R&D's IRL face reveal? So that was a thing that happened. I'm gonna comment on things while you all vote. I'm gonna comment on things. So there was the two biggest comments that I got in my last video, not the debate video, but the one before that, was one, why don't you understand the metric system? Which is, guys, that was a joke. I'm brown. Like, that means I'm Mexican, which means that I actually grew up with the metric system. I perfectly understand. It makes perfect sense. How things increase in increments of 10. It makes sense. It's a joke because I live in the U.S. and I'm a dumb American now. That was kind of the joke, and it's a joke that I make on the stream a lot, where I make fun of the metric system, but I do genuinely understand it. But I had to use miles for two reasons. One was that Enslaved by No Media used miles, and two was that the trundle wheel that I bought came in feet, so I had to use miles because otherwise it would have been just a crazy ass conversion stuff. So I understand it. I was joking. I know. The other one is face reveal. This happened a while ago. I know that my streams aren't the most popular thing on my channel, but the face reveal happened in April. So, I mean, yes. Hi. This is what you get. Hobbs owns R&D. That's true. All right. So that's the thing. That is his face. Yeah, it was a while ago. My life is a lie. It happens. I mean, to be honest, Hobbs is kind of the one who runs the show. I'm just a pretty face in front of it all. Oh yeah, I didn't put up a thing. Way to go, R&D. All right, so that's options. If you would like, I haven't even decided if we're gonna change or not. Let's put that. Bam, we'll do that. Okay, if you would like to change. There's the new poll. Is that the new poll? That is the new poll. That is the new poll. I have removed number 5 from it, which would be the Morgile. Otherwise, our options are still Not Cloning by Jonathan Miller, Veganism Almost Killed Me by Daphne Reloaded, What It Means by A Call for an Uprising, Small World by Enslaved by No Video. I think that's more of the U.S. is half the size they tell us to be. We're not doing Reavers Debunk the Globe Earth because that's what we're doing now. AI, What They Won't Admit by Orphan Red, and Crunchyroll Full SJW by Yellow Flash. I don't think you voted on this one, Micro, because that's a new poll. Yeah, that's a new poll, so it's not. You can vote on this one. That's a different poll than whatever was up there. I mean, it's the same poll. I just removed number 5. So if you want to vote again, you can. I will give us a little bit more time with the Morgile. I don't think he'll say anything important, but we'll give him. Morgile, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. I'm sure you won't, but I'm going to give you a chance because I'm a good guy.
Relative to the end point at the top of the ball.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that he's super loud.
So how is it possible for water comprising the flowing river to flow uphill? The globe earther will claim that elevation is merely relative to the mean curve of the earth.
So you know the answer, and I'm really curious as to why. You need to show the video. Oh, I do. I do. There we go. Okay, but still, he's whatever. You heard him. You heard him. You heard him say the stupid thing that he was gonna say. Okay. Whatever.
Yet, no evidence can be provided to support the claim that the Earth actually has any curvature and actually.
I wonder. Sorry, I stopped listening to you, the Morgile. Sorry. Let's see. We will go over here, and I think, you know what? I don't care. Can we edit this poll? Can we edit the poll so that anybody can vote as many times as they want? Nope, I can't. I gotta fix that, because I don't really actually care if you all vote for multiple things. But right now, number 6 is winning, which I think is Orphan Red, so I might keep playing the Morgile for the rest of the day.
All evidence proves that the Earth has no curvature. So gravity provides a sort of get-out-of-logic-free card to the ball Earth supporter. Gravity around the ball is a equalizing force which magically allows the ball Earth to behave as if it is actually a planar surface. For one thing, this is amazing and amusing at once, for when have we ever seen an inanimate spherical object to present itself deceptively as a plane?
Ooh, I know the answer. I know the answer to that one. Morgile. I'm really excited that you asked this question, because I'm excited to answer this question for you. When you get really, really close to it, that's when. You can actually, since you're the one making this stupid claim, you can actually do this yourself. Take a basketball. get really fucking close, and if you can, get your camera really fucking close to it, and it looks flat. So yeah, all of the time, the Morgile, and you can do this, and there's plenty of pictures of people who have done this before. This idea that for whatever reason spheres can never look flat is kind of dumb, buddy. Just get real close to it, and you'll see. You'll see that it can look flat. Hi, girl. Are we done? Are we done over here? Yeah. Okay. Fine. She's smelling the beer that I spilled everywhere. So yeah, that's a thing. What's hand fapping? That's a long story.
How many inanimate objects in nature are so very wily and deliberately misleading as the ball Earth? In order for rivers to flow down to the ocean on this ball, certain conditions must be present, and frankly, a hypothetical ball, Earth, does not meet those conditions. If the genesis point of a given river is considered...
So I want to stop only to comment on, and I think I've done this before, wait, what was I going to say? Shit, I got distracted by the fucking hand fapping. Shit. Oh, yes. So I brought this up earlier about how the Morgile likes to use words that are much bigger than they need to be. This is a perfect example of that. The genesis of a river, right? The genesis point. It's where a fucking river starts. You dumb. Stop. Just the Morgile. The Morgile. You trying to use bigger words doesn't actually make you sound smarter. In a lot of ways, it makes you sound dumber because it makes you sound like you're trying too hard. Because you are trying too hard. Stop trying so hard. Use the words that the common folk understand, and trust me, you'll be fine. You don't have to say the genesis point of a river.
As the base reference point on a ball Earth, then the observable phenomenon of a flowing river makes some degree of logical sense, as the genesis point is higher than all other points. On the other hand, if you consider the midpoint or the end point of the river as the base reference frame, then the ball Earth theory falls apart.
No, again, it's frustrating, Morgile. Not just is it frustrating because this has been debunked just a billion times over. It's frustrating, Morgile, because 2 minutes ago in your video, you explained how standing on a globe is relative, and you seem to understand it. But now all of a sudden, it makes no goddamn sense to you. Now all of a sudden, it baffles you that rivers, the rivers flow uphill. They don't. They flow from a higher altitude to a lower altitude. That's it. And you knew this, and you explained it earlier. And yet now it makes no goddamn sense to you. And that is what's so infuriating.
As it does not physically allow for rivers flowing to the sea from a relatively higher point.
That's hand fapping, by the way. That thing that you heard, that's hand fapping.
The case where we consider the halfway point of the river as the base reference frame, or the top of the world, then the water coming from the genesis point must flow uphill to reach that midway point, defying rule numero uno of the fluid dynamics, which dictates again that water will never flow uphill.
I don't know what else to tell you. I just... Morgile being wrong, now also in Spanish. I love it. Goodness gracious. Okay, we're gonna...
The water at the lower point would need to first completely fill that container, as in like if you dam up a river, and then spill over that higher obstacle once the water level has sufficiently risen to bleed over that point. But you're never going to see water like flowing up and over a dam.
You're right.
I suppose globe earthers will argue fluids in enclosed tubes.
No, I'm gonna no. Whatever it is, I'm trying to find a way to point at you, Morgile. Whatever it is that you're about to say is stupid. It genuinely, I can already predict is gonna be dumb. All right, Morgile. You know what globe earthers are gonna tell you? They're gonna tell you that rivers flow from a high altitude to a low altitude. That's how rivers flow. They're not gonna tell you anything else. They're not gonna tell you anything about closed or open systems. They're just gonna explain to you that rivers flow from higher to lower points. Because there is no such thing as a universal altitude, the Earth isn't this, and this is higher than this. If you're at the same distance away from the center of the Earth, you are at the same altitude. It's that simple. Why did he say fluid dynamics? Because he doesn't know what fluid. We're gonna watch the cat now. Watch the cat. Don't watch me. Nope, we can't get the cat. Come on. Cat's confused by the arm. There we go. Kitty. Watch a kitty. Kitties are better. Oh. Goodness gracious, Morgile.
To combat this point, so it's, I suppose, necessary to preemptively debunk this argument to save us all time and aggravation.
Yes. Please debunk this argument that no one has made. Please, I'm sure that isn't a fallacy at all. I'm sure that nobody has ever thought of how this might be a fallacy.
On a follow-up video. So if you have some sort of a tube, let's say a garden hose, it is possible to create a situation where water will flow uphill, but only within the pressurized environment of that tube. So if you have, say, a waterbed sitting at an elevation of 3 foot, you can connect a garden hose to a spigot and the other end of the hose placed in the waterbed, then open the valve.
Please, Morgile. If you're going to make these arguments, if you are actually argue about things that people have said, that would be nice. Why? That would be nice.
On the spigot to allow water to fill the hose completely, then disconnect the hose from the spigot, and water will begin to flow from the waterbed through the hose out to the ground. Now, as long as the end of that hose removed from the spigot remains at a lower level than the waterbed, water will continue to flow from the bed until the water is completely drained, with no need for pumps or anything. Now, so you can indeed manipulate the hose lower than the water source level so that the water travels up and downhill within that hose. Again, so long as the bottom end of the hose remains at a lower level than the source. The only reason this works is because the hose is providing a sealed container for the water inside to fill.
I don't know. I don't even know what he's talking about. I honestly just like zoned out through most of that. I don't know. He is a genius. You're right. Barnagate boys. I don't know. Does it find its level 2? I don't know, Chris. I don't know what he's doing. He's describing a siphon now, but that's not why it works. I don't know what he's... Okay. Oh, goodness. I don't... I don't know.
And the low pressure atmosphere at the end of the hose behaves essentially as a vacuum, providing the force necessary to suck the water out of the hose perpetually with no need for a pump. This same principle is why water towers are always at a higher elevation than the recipients of the water. Now, within the system coming, the tubes coming from the water tower, plumbing pipes may travel up and downhill with water, so long as the pipes end at a point.
Of course vacuums suck, Fino. That's what my vacuum does at home. I don't know what you're talking about. Vacuums suck things up. That's what a vacuum does. I didn't even notice. I kind of acknowledged that he said that, and I didn't notice it until you said it. Like, he did actually just say that vacuums suck. It's at a lower pressure zone that leads to fucking overpressure, pushing stuff into it. It's true. I just want to finish this video. Just want to be done with it.
Point where the spigots are at a lower level than the water tower, so you're never going to have water delivered from a water tower on the base of a mountain up the mountain to the top of the mountain unless there are pumps involved. Now, rivers, it goes without saying, but rivers are different than pipes because they are open bodies of water which do not provide a complete 360-degree sealed container for the water to fill and pressurize. If a river is dammed up, the water will back.
This is me opening another beer. Just want to point that out. Oh, if I can, there we go. Yes. Beer number dos. Which these are tall boy beers. I'm a little annoyed that they made them tall boy beers. I really don't like them. Oh, that's a lot of head on that beer. Let's fix that. Nope, that didn't fix it. That just made it worse. My beer is mostly head. Oh God, I don't. Just listening, it makes me fucking. I don't want to. I really just want to be done. I really do.
Back up and begin backfilling the area upriver from the dam, and will only spill over top of the dam once the area upriver is completely backfilled with water to a level higher than the dam. But again, you're never going to see water flowing downriver, meeting with the dam, and then flowing uphill over the dam. That's not how it works. So there is a big difference between a river and a hose pipe.
Thank you for explaining to us, the Morgile, that a river is not like a hose pipe, or a hose, or whatever. Thank you. Was enlightening. Entirely something that nobody said, but whatever. Why is he explaining this to us? Who does he think doesn't know how hoses and dams work? So his whole hoses thing is a rebuttal. Let's see, can I get my fingers in there? Rebuttal to a non-existent globe earther who has given him the argument that rivers are enclosed systems. That's why. If that made sense to you, good on you, because it fucking didn't make sense to me. Okay.
At the end of the day, if the world were actually a ball, there would just be plenty of evidence to support things like geological curvature, as well as the mind-boggling motion, rotation, and orbit of the Earth, yet no such evidence exists for either.
No, they do. They do, Morgile. The thing is, and this is a thing that you and all of your cohorts do, is it's not that they don't exist. It's that you deny that they exist, or when they are shown to you, you just say that it's fake. So it's not an us problem. It's a you problem.
The fact that rivers behave in the way which they do completely debunks the notion that the world is a ball. So this is just another piece of evidence to add to the preponderance of evidence, which completely points to a flat and.
Do you guys just because the Morgile seems to be such a glutton for punishment? Do you think the Morgile would come onto the show? You all should, and I should too. Do you think we could get him on a longer and harder to do this? Because I think that would be hilarious. I mean, at this point, all he has done is done the same argument that Dubé did forever ago. You don't want to see him live. I mean, I don't either, but you know, we should. So dear people who are watching this video, go ask the Morgile if he would debate R&D live, because that would be great.
Motionless Earth, and is in complete contrast to a spherical world. So with that, I'll wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed. As you know, this channel is viewer supported, so I wanted to thank everyone that.
Okay, I'm not gonna let him chill himself out because I don't want to. Okay, as long as he doesn't get a beer of the day, I don't flat. That's good. We're gonna take just the tiniest break. We'll go a little bit over, but apparently my bladder is much smaller than I anticipated. We are going to take the tiniest of breaks, and then I'm gonna repost. Where's my pen? I'm gonna repost this straw poll. So this straw poll will be to what we will be watching next. So if you would like to vote on the next video, this video is somehow we finished it. Somehow we finished the video that I didn't want to watch. But we'll listen to a little bit of music, watch some sexy Geostrevor, and then I'll be right back. All right, that video, just that. Look at her, she's so adorable. I love that cat. So that's a thing. We're done. We finished the video. We should probably get some free boobs for that accomplishment. I guess we didn't finish the whole video. There's like, I don't know, 2 minutes left of him chilling himself out, but I don't want to do that. So, the thing is, he sounds completely sincere. He does. I actually do think that the Morgile is a flat earther. I genuinely think he drinks his own Kool-Aid. He does actually. I genuinely think that the Morgile is one of the few flat earthers, YouTube flat earthers, who genuinely believes what he's doing. I genuinely think that he is one. Unlike Jism, who I don't think Jism drinks his own Kool-Aid. I think he's more of a con artist. Same thing with a lot of other ones. Like I actually think D Marble might be a genuine flat earther. A lot of the people, I honestly don't think Dubé is a genuine flat earther. I think he's also more of a con artist than anything else. So that's just my opinion on those, and I really don't have anything to back them up besides how I feel about their things. Okay. Morgile needs a GS treatment from R&D. Yes, GS treatment was epic. That was great. I don't know. I'll invite him onto the show, and if he ever wants to show up, that'd be great. If not, that's fine too. Okay, so this is where we're at. We're at can I drag my friends that I have one kind of? Can I brag to my friends that I have 1K subs? You know, something that I don't do is I don't tell my friends about this. I'm also an adult, so it's a little different because I work at places that probably don't approve of me saying the things that I do. At least I used to work at a place that most definitely didn't approve of it. But I keep my friends out of this for the most part. There's a couple of like close friends who know what I do, but for the most part, nobody really does. Like none of my friends really do. My wife obviously does. A few family members do, but for the most part, I keep it away from my friends. But that's just my opinion. You do what you feel is right for you. That's just me. And it does look like Orphan Red is winning. Not your friend anymore. Work had a no fapping, no hand fapping rule. Yeah. Well, so there's a couple of things. I have talked about my coworkers in the past and not in the most glowing of terms. Before January, my old job was the CEO of my old job was I shouldn't say was, but she is very, very religious. Like on the company Twitter account, she used to post like Jesus quotes, scripture all the time, and things like that. To top it all off, if you don't know what I do for a living, I work with kids on the autism spectrum. That's what I've done for several years. So we work with the company that I used to work with, worked with kids on the autism spectrum, and one day, I shit you not, the CEO of my company, we were having a meeting and we're sitting around talking about nonsense before the meeting started, and I shit you not, she complimented Jenny McCarthy and said that Jenny McCarthy had done a lot of good things. Jenny McCarthy, if you don't know, is an anti-vaxxer who is one of those like anti-vaxxers of like, vaccines cause autism type. That is infuriating that the CEO of a company who runs a company that works with children on the autism spectrum would think highly of Jenny McCarthy. It absolutely is mind-boggling that such a person exists. But that is the CEO of the company that I used to work at. And this kind of conversation is exactly why I don't tell my friends that I do this, is because I talk shit about them behind their backs. And that might seem rude, but at the same time, like, god damn, maybe they're just a fan of her work. That would be kind of better. It's just, yeah, so I keep my work life and my friend life away. Like I said, for there's a few exceptions, right? I obviously have like online friends that know about this, but I met them online. They're the micros and the geos and the Sean Huffords of the internets that I'm friends with, right? But at the same time, and there's a few of my close friends that know that I do this. But I really, really don't want to. I really don't want my coworkers to find out that I think they're idiots. And I talk about them like this on the internet, and they're not all, idiots. I do get along with my coworkers, but especially at my last job, not in my new job, I get along with people way better. But in my last job, I really did not. Me and my old job did not get along the best, which is why it's an old job and not a new job. My new job, I get along with people better, and we do sort of, you're sure you're not clear enough face to face? I really, I really should. Well, to realize that the American healthcare facilities have CEOs in our stock market and all that. Yeah, there's plenty of problems with that. Yeah, so that's why. So all of this is just, Blue, you do whatever works for you. You are also way younger than I am, and your generation understands things like YouTubers better than my generation does. My generation is still of the mentality of YouTubers are wasting their time. They're self-obsessed. They're they're just sitting around talking about themselves and all that, right? So my generation is very different. But, your generation is probably going to be far more open to it than mine is. So, it'll probably be easier for you to say that you're a YouTuber and tell your friends that you do this on the weekends or for funsies and you have 1,000 subscribers and that people like you on the internet. I think your generation will probably be more receptive to that than my generation. I'm much older than you, so my generation is still watches cable TV. So that's true. It's true. Stop talking to yourself. It's true. As nice as it plays that was, you did read him wrong. He just started I can as in oh okay. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. I did read it wrong. No, but it's yeah. You do you. You do whatever you want, Blue. Even if you were gonna do it without my advice. You do you, Blue. All right. How's that poll going? I did post that poll a little bit ago. I'm gonna maybe give you guys a little bit more time to decide, but I think the decision was already made to have. Yes, the decision so far seems to be made to listen to Orphan Red, which is my wife around? She is around, so we're not gonna make that comment. We'll wait until she leaves the kitchen. Nothing. Nothing. No. Really? No. You're fine.
You're using that high-pitched voice.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. I love you. You're fine.
We'll talk about it later.
So, bright side. I'm in so much trouble. You're an idiot, Iron D. Yes, that I am. The poll, you're still building my kitchen. Yes. Okay, so the best part about Orphan Red's video, the one that you all picked, is that it's one that she's less shy about her cleavage. So bright side,
just kill all the sick people. Kill all the old people.
Yeah, kill all the old people. Bright side is that. Less bright side is you can't see it. Ha! Let's get this actually squared away. Oh goodness, yeah, it's not the most flattering still of you. Oh, that's not what I want to do. No, video, get back here. Where'd the video go? Video? Cancel. Video. Oh goodness, I can video today. Okay, we are super professionals today, guys. Super duper professional. Okay. We got this. Oh, nope. You go back to where you were. You go there. This is like the most professional I've ever been. Oh, right. There we go. There we go. Things are happening. I know if I make this smaller, it'll work better too. Yeah, that's a thing. All right. Sorry, guys. I am not on top of my shit today, apparently, because I can't even like align a video so that it fits in the window. All right, there we go. I can see cleavage. You can. That's the best part about this video. Okay. Let's listen to her.
Kill the children that are. Today I thought that we could talk about artificial intelligence and transhumanism.
So just so you know, she does none of those things. I don't actually think she understands what transhumanism is. I think that's something she's just entirely mute the sound, please. Yeah, she doesn't. She talks about transhumanism in a way that somebody who doesn't know what transhumanism is talks about transhumanism. It's great. She is definitely showing her knowledge today. No, she doesn't. She does not.
It seems as though everyone is talking about AI recently. Artificial intelligence and transhumanism. Those go hand in hand. There's the idea that artificial intelligence will get so powerful that it will make sense to, I guess, bind it with human consciousness.
Okay. Volume down, touch please. Okay, I can turn down her volume a touch, please. No problem. She likes to try to sound like she knows what she's, the other things, and demonstrate she knows nothing. That's true. Enjoying the taste of your shoe, R&D. Yeah, I know. So, no, okay, in case you don't know, transhumanism is more or less, how to explain this in the way that doesn't make me sound stupid. It's the idea of technology and humans sort of being combined together. Is very, 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 very broadly what transhumanism is. Is it really? Sorry. So, hello, Sam. How are you? So things like, I think more of like Deus Ex, the video games where you have like augmentations and you sort of, you know, you get robot arms and shit, kind of things, and you make humans better. Right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just you know, robot hands. It can be things like brain things, like Ghost in the Shell is a great transhumanist idea, where you have brain bits that are computer bits, so that you can do things like surf the internet while you drive and things like that, right? So yeah, so you know, robot arms. I want a robot arm, but without giving up my current one. There you go. So you know. Micro wants 3 arms. Things like that, and enhancing humans through technology. AI is definitely different. AI is artificial intelligence. It's very, very different than just, you know, human augmentation. So she's oh god. So this is one of those times where she's very clearly talking outside of her depth. Very, very clearly, which I think is also why she's showing off more of her cleavage, honestly, to distract from the fact that she is very clearly not understanding the very concepts that she's talking about. And it honestly just gets worse, so I'm just going to let it play for like a little bit. Wheels and feet, like the robot on Lost in Space. Ooh, by the way, Tyre, just since we're talking about robots and Netflix at the same time, do watch the new Lost in Space on Netflix. Is phenomenal. I don't know why people don't like it, but it is really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The robot in it is cool. It's got more of a survivalist kind of vibe to it rather than just like exploring space. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. You should watch it. The other one that you should watch and that I watched last night is the new movie that just came out. I think it was this weekend by Netflix, which is called Next Gen, and I just watched it. It's a, you know, animated kids cartoon thingy mabobby movie. It's really good too. It's also worth watching. It pulls at all the feels on the heart feel strings. It pulls on all of them, and it's really, really good. I watched it last night with my wife. It was I was feeling all the heartstring pulling. It was amazing. So 2 recommendations to watch on that are on Netflix right now is watch Next Gen and watch Lost in Space. Definitely worth watching both of those things. I don't have Netflix though. You need to fix that, Mr. Maja Betcha, because it's really, really good. They really, really are good. iRobot is also good. I actually really like iRobot. I don't know. It's got fucking what's his face in it. Will Smith. Will Smith, always good. Always good times. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of this nonsense.
To blend these two together, and that we will make robots, and we will upload people's consciousness. Can you tell that it's late at night and I'm quite tired?
Okay, I know that you think that this is cute, and it would be cute if this was part of your script. Like if you wrote a script and you're like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm up at 2 in the morning recording this nonsense, right? Like that's like a cute character to act. But if you are genuinely up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, trying to make a comprehensive argument about transhumanism and AIs, you should really stop. It is not cute that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That is not adorable. That's not cute. That just makes you look dumb. Like, that's it. Like, write your script. if you're too tired to record it that night, just wait till the next goddamn morning. Like there's absolutely no reason for you to do this the way that you are. Yeah, body first, talk later. That's all. That's all. Oh, okay.
Oh la la. Hello. Artificial intelligence and transhumanism go hand in hand. On the one hand, you have the people who are talking about whether artificial intelligence will become so powerful that it will end up ruling over us. Hello.
What? Fudging Will Smith. Yeah, I love Will Smith. Don't get me. Orphan Red. Orphan Red is wrong about everything. I'm sorry, Orphan Red. You were just wrong about everything. I'm sorry. You just are. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Something robots taking over the world. I think again, not transhumanism, but you know.
And on the other hand, you have the transhumanists, hello, who believe that the only way for humans to survive this is to merge with artificial intelligence. And then you have the people who are terrified of death, and they would like to upload their consciousness to a computer.
Gotcha. It's a dystopian world. Yeah. I don't. So the one problem that I'm having with this conversation is that even though I understand transhumanism better than she does, I don't know it well enough to like talk about it. I will say this much, Miss Orphan Red. If you're gonna talk about someone else's opinions about robotics or AI or uploading yourself onto the interwebs, I would strongly suggest that you actually quote somebody saying these things, or you know, a popular book that talks about these things, or a popular whatever philosophy, right? Saying these things. Right now, all you were really creating, and I hate to be the guy who says, but this is just a straw man of something that I'm pretty sure no one actually buys into. At least nobody in the groups that you are talking about buys into, right? Like I said earlier, transhumanism is about augmenting humans the way, you know, using whatever's. Yeah, it's true. And I guess you're right, Sean. R&D Ghost in the Shell is a good animated example of AI and transhumanism. That is true. And it's I guess it's not to say that transhumanists don't believe in uploading themselves onto robot bodies. I'm actually more, and I will say that I'm more of a uploading my brain up to the internet, which I think would be a lot of fun. Also, entirely kind of off topic. There's this really great game, Soma. Buy it or go watch somebody play. Actually, quick, can I find this? Quick plug for a fantastic YouTuber who she's just wonderful, and is criminally just criminally undersubbed. Is my friend Mango plays games. She did on her Mixer channel. She did a playthrough of this, where she did a playthrough of a game called Soma, and that game talks about a lot of this transhumanism stuff with uploading yourself. That one in particular talks about like uploading yourself onto a robot body, which is pretty cool stuff. So that's always good to hear. Oh, thank you, Sam. 42 said deep thought with infinity, majesty, and claim. Oh, well, thank you very much for your wonderful donation. There's your boobs. I was waiting for those to show up. There's your boobs. I need to make those boobs bigger. Why are they so small? Oh. I thought they'd be a little bit bigger, but you know, there you go. There's your boobs. Thank you very much for your wonderful donation. Always appreciated. So yeah, Soma, do devs know what that means? I don't know. They might. I don't know. I don't actually know what that means. I figured it meant something, but I don't. So if you can explain it, that would be nice. But yeah, so go watch Mango Plays Games do that on her Mixer account, because it's actually a pretty great great game that deals a lot with uploading consciousness onto different brains and what that would actually look like, and it's kind of fucked up, but it's great at the same time. So yeah, you should definitely do that. I should know what Soma means. No, I don't. Sorry. Again, feel free to explain it. I really don't. I really don't know what Soma means. I probably should, because I take it. It was in your notes. It was in my notes. The notes with your picture on it. Because I see, now you're making me pull up my notes. Notes. I think it was this week. Soma. It was in my notes. Is it an acronym for something? Because that'd be cool if it was. But yeah, if you could actually explain it, like actually what it means, that would be much better than me trying to look through my notes. What do you call the middle part of the nerve? Oh, you're right. It is. Huh. Brave New World. Brave New World is also fun. There's lots of things. You're right. It is a Soma. Let's see. Receiver oxen. Oh God, there's my neurons. Dendrites, which I love. Let's put this entirely. Axon? No. Okay. I'm lost. I am lost already. It means body. Oh, cool. So entirely, because I don't want to go back to Orphan Red. So one of the next videos that'll come up fairly soon is about dystopian things. So there's this guy on the YouTubes. His name is Verniculus, something like that. He's one of them anti-feminist, anti-SJW types on the interwebs, you know, whatever that means. And he read say dendrites again. You say it funny. I do too. So there's a thing about dendrites. I'll get to dendrites in a second. Because they're hilarious in a way that's, yeah. So, okay. So there's this guy on the interwebs who's an anti-SJW, anti-feminist guy, dude, on the internet. How are you creating that picture-in-picture stuff? What? I don't, like, on my stream? Is that what you're asking, Sam? Like, how am I showing the cat on this end and then the video? Because that, okay. That I use OBS, so OBS lets you pull from different places all at once, and so I have my camera channel over here. There we go. And then I have my video channel on another one, and then I just stick them all together in this giant mess. It's great. It's called OBS. It's great. I love it. Okay, so something. What was I talking about? Not dendrites. Oh, ranunculus. So have to do with. He did a review of Handmaid's Tale that was awful. And I knew that it was awful before I read Handmaid's Tale, so I decided to read Handmaid's Tale. So I'm going to read that, finish reading it. I'm like 70-ish% way through it. And then we're going to do a book review on it. And it's going to be hilarious because he doesn't seem to understand dystopian futures, and it's hilarious. And so we're going to talk about dystopian futures, and it's going to be great. So that'll be a video. The other thing, dendrites, why they're funny. So the reason that dendrites are funny is because so dendrite, dendro, I forget which one it is. Means tree. So like dendrochronology is like the study of the chronology of tree rings. Dendrites, or name that because they kind of look like trees, like they kind of branch out, and they have a trunk and they branch out. But there's this, and then this is why it's funny. there's this anime that is out right now called Cells at Work, which is all about the human body. And in the first episode, they actually show a dendrite, and the dendrite is actually a tree, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, it was one of those subtle jokes that I got in this thing that the dendrite looked like a tree, and it was because the word because the word literally means tree-like. It's great. I love it. So that's why they're funny, and that doesn't actually sound as funny when I say it. But it was. So also, you should watch Cells at Work. I've only watched the first episode, but it was really funny, and it did a lot of explaining about how the immune system works and how red and white blood cells work. So it's actually educational for a show it's for an anime show. So that was cool. So that's my joke about dendrites. There, we got it. Okay. Who's the person that I'm talking about? So book reviews. Hopefully, and the show is kind of at the over stage of things here. So, I have the script written for the book review for what's his face, Eric Dubay. That book review is done. I just got to record it. So I'll record that and hopefully have it out by next week. Then after that, I will hopefully have the book review on Handmaid's Tale done. I haven't quite finished the book, but it looks very very interesting. Or sorry, it has been very interesting so far. So it should hopefully be a good video. But the person that I'm talking about, somebody asked that. Is his vernaculus Verna something. He's on the YouTubes. I don't know. Look up The Handmaid's Tale, and I think he's one of the first people that pop up as reviewing it. But I haven't watched the show. I'm only reading the book so far. Once I've finished reading the book, I'll probably watch the show. It is highly recommend reading the book so far. It is very interesting. If you're kind of into dystopian, he's a skeptic clone. He is a skeptic clone. It's a very interesting book, especially if you like dystopian novels kind of books. If you like your 1984s, your Fahrenheit's, that kind of books, then it's very, very interesting. Skeptic is an armored skeptic. Yes, Skeptic is an armored skeptic. He is one of those. He's one of those bearing armored skeptic. Those kind of guys. Yeah, one of those clones. Out in the world. So yeah. So that's that. So that's it for today's show. We are. I don't know. I have nothing else to say. I have nothing else. Thank you all for joining me. That is the schedule for next week. Hopefully, we will have more Eric debate come next weekend, and then after that, some book reviews on things. Still working on that 200 proofs. We will hopefully get there pretty good. We are, I think, if I remember right, and I'm gonna have to look at my notes. If I remember right, after this next video, there's like 8 proofs that sort of go together, and then there's like 50 of them that go together, and that's gonna be a very long and boring episode, but it's gonna have it. So, I'm going to start one. Pasty White Skeptic. Go for it. Good show. Thanks for the coolness. Oh, thank you very much. And thank you very much, Sam, for your donation. Always appreciated. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by and joining the show. You all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you all next week. Maybe, if I can get things right. Maybe have a fan art Wednesday for Creationist Cat on Wednesday if I can get my shit together. So, thank you all. Have yourselves a wonderful week. I will see you all next time.